Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for To Your Eternity, chapter 150. When we last left our heroes, Fushi kind of continued his mental breakdown, panicking about how much more time he will have to spend with his friends. Bon tries to comfort him, to tell him that it's enough no matter how much time he has left. Fushi does not do that. And then the rest of the gang shows up. Bon kind of pushes Fushi to tell the group what's been going on with him. And all he does is tell them to not die and abandon him. You know, in Fushi's case, meaning ever. Because Fushi has not really grown with the concept of death since Pyoran. So that's kind of where we left off, with Fushi being very unhealthy. And yeah, let's dive right on in chapter 150. And we see Messar kind of press, and in like the immediate aftermath of last chapter, "Don't die and leave you." What's that supposed to mean? And March runs up. "It's okay, Fushi. I'll always be with you." But Fushi kind of waffles there. That's not what I meant, March. And Messar presses, "What are you trying to say?" And we get our title, Independence Part 1, which, that's definitely not a word I'd use to describe Fushi right now. But Fushi goes on, "Like if you died one day, I'll bring you back if you'll stay here again." There's an interesting bit there that Fushi says, "I'll bring you back if you'll stay here again." Which is continuing Fushi's kind of uncomfortable possessiveness over his friends. And Tonari, who pushed back against this idea in the past, questions, "You will?" I mean, that'd be great. That's what I'd like. And I think this is Messar, who goes on, "I get it. You want us to keep living, dying, and living again like you, forever?" And Fushi just sort of stares up at him. I'm sorry. Don't hate me." And just then Yuki comes in. "Whoa, uh-oh, somebody help me." He's like carrying this big pot. And Gugu runs to go help him. Uh-oh, he's gonna spill it. And Fushi just disappears. Bon notes, "Oh." And Messar looks down, and he's gone. And we see Fushi out on the shore. And he just falls to his knees. Oh man, that must have sounded so pathetic. I probably destroyed everyone's image of me. Why am I like this? None of them understand how I feel anyway, because they're not immortal. Like, what would they do if they were me? That's starting to sound bad. Something about that is starting to sound even more unhealthy than usual. None of them could ever understand me is just generally not the jumping off ground for healthy thoughts. Anyway, Fushi looks up, and he kind of sits on the ground. Who should I try to be like? No. Who do I want to be like? And then the horse shows up. The horse has been so relevant. I'm curious if this is going to be the moment, or so present lately. I'm curious if we're getting to the point where Fushi realizes that that's Pyoran. Because I don't think he ever realized that was Pyoran. And I'm wondering, given how much I've been tying Fushi's kind of breakdown last chapter to his pre-Pyoran death breakdown, I'm curious how learning Pyoran is there as a horse will, I'm wondering how that will cause Fushi, what that will make Fushi do. Anyway, Fushi acknowledges the horse sort of rubbing up against him. "Oh, you're back again? You don't need to worry about me." I mean, Fushi, I think everyone kind of needs to worry about you right now, man. But then he hears this rustling in the sand, in this mound, and he goes to look over, and it's the fucking sea turtles! Oh my god, I love the fucking sea turtle scene. My most tragic moment of To Your Eternity on this channel is not being caught up by the sea turtle scene. It's my favorite scene, one of my favorite scenes of the entire manga. Wait, are these from the eggs I laid? And we see they're all kind of looking up at him, so happy. "I can't believe Phi actually took root in them." Oh, so I'm a mother now? I want to pause for a minute on that. Can't believe Phi actually took root in them. In that, was there ever a question of that? Or was there ever really the idea that Fushi as a turtle, cannot actually create life. Because I always assumed they'd be born. I mean, turtles aren't known for their survival rates, but I'd assume they'd exist still. Anyway, oh yeah, I better name you. You'll be shumai, and you can be gyoza. Then there's ramen, and twice cooked pork, and chop suey. That bit feels like fucking Silver Spoon. Which makes me think they're, like, Fushi on some level expects them to die, which is, again... Well, I think there's actually something really interesting there. Fushi expecting them to die because he's, tying in with Fushi's current arc about not wanting his friends to die. If he thinks his friends are going to die, is he, like, diving headlong into some kind of nihilism? Nothing matters, y'all are already dead from my immortal perspective? Maybe, I don't know. And then Fushi looked at the horse. Oh, I'll have to name you too sometime. That's an interesting bit. The horse has been horse for so long, I don't think anyone's ever really questioned it. But anyway, the sea turtles go. Huh? Where are you all going? You aren't going into the ocean, are you? Whoa, wait a second, we just met! So we're seeing there, the turtles are becoming like a microcosm of all of Fushi's problems. Like, these creatures are kind of, not really his friends, but can sort of work on a metaphorical level for his friends, and they're leaving him right away from the perspective of an immortal. The same thing will happen to the friends. And so we'll see how Fushi kind of deals with that. But then a crab catches one of Fushi's kids, and Fushi smacks it away. Hey, what do you think you're doing, you evil crab? Then, like, a shoebill grabs one in its beak. Stop that! Don't eat shumai! And he whacks the bird away. Get in here, everybody! And he kind of creates some kind of barrel or something to grab them all. It's dangerous out there. Come live with me forever. I know you'll be better off that way. Yeah, Fushi, you're just getting increasingly fucked now. He is getting increasingly unable to deal with anything going against him. Yeah, I mean, there's really no other word what's been going on with Fushi the past several weeks now, but then just, like, full-on mental breakdown. His utter inability to deal with any loss. I don't know. Anyway, the turtles all kind of, I think, try to wriggle out of his little container, but Fushi tries to shove them back in. Sorry, don't hate me. And then he flashes back to when Mizuha used the same words to him. I think that might have been around 146, I think. Don't hate me. And Fushi is kind of shocked to realize he's using Mizuha's words. And he looks down at the turtles. And then the horse kind of nudges him in the leg. And we have this image of Pyoran. Shocking Fushi. I'm wondering if that's the moment he's realized the horse is Pyoran. Or it's tied up with all these other dead people. We see Reen and Booze Gramps. We see, I think that's the older Sandal. Perona, Cam and his gang from Renril. And Fushi continues to think, looking at the turtles, everyone was so kind, right to the very end. And then he lets go. At long last, Fushi realizes he has to let go. Just like he's let go of Pyoran, of Booze Gramps and Reen and Perona and Cam. He dumps the turtles into the sea and sort of watches them as they go. And then we cut to some hair being cut. We're clearly in school the next day. Shocking Tonari, who sees it. And then we see in class, all these kids looking, huh? Whoa. And then Funa as well. Hey, what the heck? And then someone comes in, oh, that a boy, Fushi-kun. Now you're acting like a middle schooler should. And we see he's dyed his hair black. And I think might be wearing the school uniform for the first time. I'd have to double check if he's ever worn it before. But I don't think he has. He's sort of... I don't quite know how to describe this part of Fushi's kind of emotional arc. He's like, where does learning to let go lead to fitting in at school. Maybe he's learning to be human and letting go is a part of human life. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, we see class going on. Fushi going to class. We see what looks like Funa and her gang, and maybe Fushi as well. Now that Fushi has black hair and is wearing school clothes, I can't quite make him out as easy. Because I think there's also this bit of who I think is Fushi, along with Yuki, and I think the Occult Club, and Tonari, and Hana. I think there's Mizuha's desk that's still empty. And we see Fushi just being a normal boy, helping Kazumitsu out with the shopping, helping Yuki's sister out with the dishes, just hanging or folding laundry while March practices her writing with Yuki's help, and Bon makes a phone call. And then we see him just passed out. As someone notes on, Fushi's going to spend his whole day off sleeping. And it's Tonari, Echo, and Gugu, who must have been the one who said that first line. Tonari goes on, well, it does look like he's been trying extra hard lately. And Echo walks up to Fushi and kind of looks at him, and she sees a rope tied to his hand to the ground. Does that mean that Fushi's not actually there? Maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, we then cut to someone on TV. You wait right there. Why should I? It's some kind of show, I guess. And the little sister walks in. It's all yours, Tonari-san. Okay. And she looks at Echo. Take yours with me, Echo. And then Kai yawns. You two should get to sleep. And Fushi then, I think it's Fushi, it might be Gugu, is pointing at both of them. Hang on, I will after this goes off. Well, let's break for commercial. And we see Gugu kind of laugh as Fushi looks at him. And then Fushi goes to grab something. Oh, right. Take this, Gugu. Huh? And it's an envelope Gugu opens. What is it? A plane ticket. A ticket to Taknaha. Huh? And Fushi just kind of looks at him with this slight smile. And the TV echoes Gugu's thoughts. For real? And that's where we leave off. Okay. So, I don't quite know what to really make of this chapter. Not quite yet. Because there's definitely, this clearly seems to be some big turning point in Fushi's arc. And while it might be hopeful to say that Fushi is changing for the better, given how this arc has been going, I think there's something else going on. Whether it's just he's decided that it's hopeless to try to keep his friends together, just like it was hopeless to try to keep the Immortal Gang, or just like he realized it was hopeless to try to keep the Turtles together, he is just going to fit in, he's going to give up. It feels kind of defeatist, especially once he gives the ticket to Gugu. That feels sort of, go your merry way, what can I do to stop you, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I can't really this feels like one of those chapters I just can't put into context till I have a little bit more of it. Especially this bit, the thing that I'm still kind of questioning is this bit of Echo when she looks at the rope. What are we supposed to be taking from that? Is the implication there that Fushi's consciousness is off somewhere? Doing something? If so, then what? It doesn't really get brought up again for the rest of the chapter. Of course, Echo can't really tell anyone, but she could point it out. That's not too hard. But yeah, we see. I will say, I'm glad to see the turtles back. I do love me that turtle scene. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm still just really curious where we're going with all of this, because we have this bit with where Fushi kind of sees the images of his departed friends. And that's the bit that makes him let go. Which, given everything that Fushi's been doing the past several chapters, I might think that's what would make him hold on tighter. The fact that he lost Pyoran. The fact that he lost Reem. The fact that he lost Boozgrams and Sandal and Perona and Cam. The fact that he can't hold on to everyone, I would honestly see make him hold on to the people he can hold on to all the more, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I feel like this is just one of those chapters I can't really say anything about for now, because I really just don't know. Like, this is such a sudden turn from what I was expecting this arc to be going. I have no clue. I genuinely do not know what happens next from here, which is exciting, but also kind of worrying, because I thought I was on the same page as Oima at long last. And now she's just like, no, Fushi dyes his hair black and settles into life in Yanome. And I don't know how that's going to turn out. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how all of this plays out going forward. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. You know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!